Manchester United need to stick or twist. Plenty of stuff spoken about the way we played yesterday. But first... Oh, wow. Manchester United fans, welcome. And I say United fans because I've never seen a fan base so united after a result that we saw yesterday. I've spent the last, watching the 12th man tonight. Me not being on there and being able to back my club has absolutely infuriated me tonight. Listening to them waffle on about United not being this, not being that, just, it infuriates me. But what can you do? What can you do? Anyway, first things first, let's get the welcomes in because I've got a lot to talk about yesterday. I've got a lot to talk about the problems we faced today. Chris was in nice and early at 6:10 and said, goalkeeper is the most important position. They lose your games in an instant. United have to prioritise sorting out that position. All great sides have goalkeepers. Evening to you, Andy. Good to see you and good to see you feeling positive. Subra, hope you are well, and I love that comment. And also, hello to the OGs. Chappie, good to see you. Dan. I'm Dan. Jamie, good to see you. Ben, lovely to see you. And Jarl, really good to see you. Wahaha in the chat. I'm angry tonight, folks. I'm angry. And I'm not even angry at Manchester United's game yesterday. I thought there was so much that we can build on from yesterday. I've heard rival fans coming out openly mocking United fans today, saying that we're celebrating a loss. This tells you everything you need to know about rival fans and their whole outlook on football. One of them in particular going on like they've just won the Premier League. They just beat Wolves yesterday 4-0, who lost a lot of their players. Another one criticising me for wanting attention on football's 12th man. Yeah, I'm in the chat, mate. It's called a chat. Yeah. So anyway, enough about that. Manchester United yesterday did a lot of things right. There were still glaring mistakes in the sense of the selection because Sesko apparently wasn't ready, and Binder in goal. Binder, for me, absolutely epitomised the problem with Manchester United and their goalkeepers. So weak when it comes to the goal we conceded. Now, you can say that Mason Mount was potentially fouled in the build-up. I don't buy that. I just think Binder was absolutely ridiculous. Should have come out there and took someone with him to get the ball. But, and there is a but, there was so much yesterday that when I watched it back, I enjoyed it just as much the second time around. We saw Brian and we saw Cunha playing together, and I thought them two were exceptional. Brian picking the ball up, getting into spaces, Cunha being explosive and taking players on, creating absolute havoc. Absolute havoc. And that was against Everton, I believe, Ben, but you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me I can't even talk. I'm angry. Get the subscribing button pushed and also hit the like button. Still angry at what I've just watched on 12th man. I thought the other positives we saw yesterday, Dorgo, I thought was really good, really forward thinking, pushing the Arsenal players back. And I thought the back three did really well. I thought Lenny Yoro was exceptional. I thought De Ligt was so good in moving into spaces when we were out of possession from a goal kick to bring the play forward. I thought it was good. I seen a lot yesterday that made me sit there and say, do you know something? As much as it wasn't the result we wanted, there is progression. There is a lot of progression. Now, Manchester United, of course, and Ruben Amorim has to back this up against Fulham on Sunday. We absolutely have to back this up on Sunday because it would be for nothing. We go out and throw an absolute bozo performance like we were accustomed to last season. A good performance normally was followed by a poor one. Well, then it's all for nothing. But Manchester United, I think you look at the players, the togetherness that they were showing there, I was happy. Casemiro, on watching it back in reflection, thought was good for the first half, but his legs went. And this is the problem. And this is where I'm going to talk to you about here tonight, where we see the situation where people are coming out, Laurie Whitwell being one of them, and saying that Manchester United aren't going out for anybody else now. We ain't going out for anybody else now. Apparently, the goalkeeper situation, we're just going to stick with it. And that is apparently coming direct from Amorim yesterday after the game. The other one is the midfield. Now, I saw a story from Laurie Whitwell today saying that Manchester United went straight in there with a £55 million bid and 5 million add-ons for Baleba. I want to hope and I want to pray that that isn't true. And I want to hope that Manchester United wouldn't be so foolish as to put in such a ridiculous offer for a player that everybody knows is linked closer to 105, 110 million. There are other things here at play. There are other things. Manchester United are in a situation after yesterday where we could see, come the end of that game, what the issues were. We had a goalkeeper that doesn't like coming for the ball. We've got a goalkeeper who wasn't even in the squad that is just absolutely horrendous. And we need that energy in midfield. Bruno in the first half was ineffective. He absolutely was, giving the ball away. Second half, I thought he got back into it a little bit more. There was a lot more style of play from him. But Manchester United need energy in that midfield. Now, that energy was going to be the energy of Baleba. I'm sitting here tonight telling you all, don't even think about Baleba next season. Don't even think about it. He will end up at City or someone like that. Manchester United need to fill these positions. We have 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks today when the window shuts. I think the club are doing their best to try and get rid of players now. And I'll go through the Mavericks, shall we call them? So I'm not going to swear about them. The Sanchos, the Antonys, the Garnachos later on in the show. But I feel like Manchester United here, with 2 weeks left to go, have to go for it. This show is titled Stick or Twist. If we stick with the team that we have, as much as I saw so much improvement there yesterday, Manchester United will fail. They will fail. There were so many good passages of play. I saw players playing the way out of problems at defence. I saw lovely little one-touch passes getting us up the field, and that was really good. That made me sit there and say, this is where we should be going. But equally, when you see Casemiro running out of legs, and this is the first game of the season, by the way, you see Ugarte come on and almost gift them a second goal, losing the ball every time he got it, needless free kicks, having a shot from 25, 30 yards that ended up closer to the corner flag. We need to fix these problems. So I don't think any Manchester United fan after yesterday's performance come away from that game and said, you know what? I can't put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on where we're going wrong here. We watched the game. We know exactly where it is. And more importantly, Ruben Amorim watched it. And Ruben Amorim knows exactly where it is. Now, I saw some people say that he was wrong to come out and defend being there yesterday. Well, I disagree with that. He's your player. You're not going to come out after a game and say this guy's a clown. You're not going to. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I like that he said we needed to be stronger, because we do. We absolutely do need to be stronger. Set pieces, there were warnings against Fiorentina, chat. There were warnings against Fiorentina. And the warning was set piece, corner, straight over, bang, done, 1-0. And that was the same yesterday. Other than that, I didn't panic. Like, I can honestly sit here and say, when Arsenal were attacking yesterday, and a lot of people saying Arsenal was shite, and they were, I wasn't concerned. I actually wasn't. I don't think Biende really had much to do other than pick the ball out of the net for that goal. The rest of it, I thought we were so much better. We have been starved of seeing players that get us off our chairs, get us off our seats. We've been starved of that. Yesterday, we got two players that absolutely did it. I thought Dalot was absolutely horrendous. I thought Dalot was horrendous. I thought big opportunity for him, and he blew it. Diallo come on, and I thought did really well. Let's go through some of the chat before we carry on, because I'm mindful I don't want you guys to feel like I'm ignoring you. Ben says, FYI, we actually did that one. That's fine. I'm still angry at Amorim, but also at the refs. Well, yeah, he made a mistake with the starting lineup. I agree with that. Jamie says, yesterday, I think we played really good and showed passion. I think that foul on Cunha was definitely a penalty. Well, again, VAR come out and said Cunha apparently backed into Saliba. And I don't know. Look, that's for VAR to decide. VAR did what VAR did best this weekend, which was take the headlines over the players. It's always going to be the way. Peachy says the keeper is so important to a team. We need a top quality goalkeeper. Couldn't agree more with that. Ferdinand says Arsenal are beating us a lot recently. Not really. Andy says sort the keeper out in midfield and we will be better. And I do agree with this. Those two positions are the difference between Manchester United pushing up the table and taking the place of some of these other teams to get a European place. If we stick with this team, with the problem positions, then we're destined to fail. All the hard work that we're putting in with the players around them will be for nothing. Ben says it sure was the one and only Fellaini. Yeah, of course. Niche fan, good to see you. We really need a goalkeeper over a midfielder. It's cost us. Yeah, do you know what? We'll put a vote in a second about that. Ahmad coming on in the second half confirmed that he and Brian need to have a chat and tell each other what they're going to do when they play together. Can't have both trying the same and what. Do you know something? Wahaha makes a very good point on this. Yesterday we saw it 2 or 3 times where they just didn't click. They didn't click on what they were doing. There was a couple of misstrayed passes. If that clicks, you have got 2 very skillful and very explosive players there that I think if they get it right, will end up looking decent for Manchester United. We have to get a midfield and a keeper. It's non-negotiable, says Niche Fan. And Moxie, one of the OGs, good to see you, my friend, says, evening, folks. Even though that we lost, there are far more positives for us to think this season will definitely be a big improvement. Ruben Amorim, he'll bring the glory days again. And this is why I'm triggered tonight, chat. This is why I'm triggered, because I'm seeing rival fans taking the mick. I'm seeing rival fans have a lot of comments. About Manchester United are nowhere near. They're rubbish. They're this. They're that. Rah rah rah. Literally, yeah, literally. These are the same fans that have been saying all preseason United aren't going to get Europe. United need this. United need that. Like literally, I don't think I've ever been triggered by rival fans so much. Do you know something though? This is me telling you now, right? I'm telling you fans this now, and I will stand by this. Manchester United will finish higher than a few teams that we are unexpected to finish higher above this season. Manchester United have the players there, bar the midfield and the goalkeeper, to go on and really do something. And I don't think Ruben Amorim will rest on that. I don't think Ruben Amorim will sit there and say, okay, yeah, we'll just get on with this. I genuinely don't. I'm so annoyed. Honestly, it absolutely infuriates me. But anyway, enough. I'm not even going to speak about him. Chappie says maybe being there is a vampire. They're afraid of coming for crosses. I agree with that. Malacia might be getting looked at Roma. Don't mention the Roma noise, that sound. I've got too much on that. Moxie says we must twist now. If we don't strengthen with at least one midfielder, then if possible a goalkeeper, Biender should have been stronger for the goal, but his distribution. Do you know something? Moxie makes a good point here. I will say this about Biender yesterday, other than when he was lumping it long in the first half to a player that's 5'7" in Brian. There were moments where he was passing out from the back, direct through. There was one to Bruno, which Bruno received the ball, turned, and we were away. It was really good, but you can't rely on a goalkeeper to maybe get it right. You can't rely on a goalkeeper that you know when a ball comes over from a corner is probably going to miss out. So that's why we need the new goalkeeper. And Niche fan says it's obvious Kobe won't play under Amorim. I don't know where Manu was yesterday. I honestly don't know where he was, chat. I thought we should have played Kobe yesterday. I thought he'd have been good coming in that game. Let's see where we are after 10 games. One game is hard to judge. And Peachy says it pees me off that we can't score, though. Where's the next best, Law or Charlton? Even McClare? It's fair. Let's have a look at something here, guys, because there has been a lot said. Now, Alex Crook said, I asked Ruben for TalkSport if United would sign a new goalkeeper this window. It's hard to say is what he said, what is going to happen, but I don't see that happening in any way. I think this guy wants a goalkeeper. News broke a long time ago, and to be fair, credit to Goldbridge and Co. They broke it back in March, I believe, when it was said then that Amorim doesn't rate Onana. Now, Onana, I think, will be back in the sticks against Fulham, and we're going to have to see what he does. Look, we want every player to succeed. Of course we do. But it's not a case of what we need these players to succeed, because at the moment we've got 2 goalkeepers who are absolutely abysmal, and we've got a midfield that is so imbalanced, as we saw at times yesterday, that we don't know exactly what to expect. Ugarte, done. Absolutely done for me. Manu, don't know why he's not getting an opportunity. It just at the moment feels like Amorim doesn't trust him. And then you've got Casemiro, who, look good for 60 minutes, but you need a player to play for 90 minutes for 38 games in the Premier League. Guy's 33, he'll be 34 by the end of the season. Still on stupid wages. We need to be sorting that out. We absolutely do. Now, the other thing with this is Amorim has already laid out his philosophy at Carrington, and this is important. Stressing that selection will not always simply come down to who begins a match, but also who finishes it. Amorim has explained that some of his key decisions at Manchester United will be based on the final 30 minutes rather than the starting whistle, underlying his belief that games are often won and lost in that spell. Now, I like that, but I don't like it. I like it and I don't like it. Yesterday, the substitution should have been made at half-time. Mason Mount had a lot of praise from United fans. I saw a couple of channels saying that he was incredible. And yeah, that's fine. He did well. But we actually needed to utilise him as a sacrificial lamb. We needed to get Sesko up there. We needed a striker. We missed that yesterday. Now, Sesko didn't come on and pull up any trees, and I can sit here and say that, and I take that. But coming on for your first appearance in a game like that, I kind of feel like Ruben Amorim said it himself, no crosses into the box for him. There was not much he could do other than win the balls that were coming over long. Had a couple of shots that he could have tried. He tried to get out, but it just didn't work. I want Manchester United to start this guy against Fulham. And I don't think there's a world where he won't now. He'll have had a full week, 2 weeks of training with the first team. He's made an appearance off the bench. I'm interested to see how Manchester United play with this striker up there. I think he will add another level to the way we do it. What else have we got here? Giles says those fans will be quiet when United eats them for dinner. And I love that comment. Giles, I love that comment. We played a team that's had one of the best defences in the last couple of seasons in the Premier League. The pressure was on Arsenal, absolutely. And I think there's been more questions asked of Arsenal than there has of Manchester United. So I'm happy. I'm happy. We'll beat the lower tier teams in style. We just need a goalkeeper who we can make do with the midfield until January. Santos, welcome. Good to see you. And guys, make sure you like and subscribe if you're new. I take that point, but I disagree with that we can make do with a midfielder until January because it's different in January. In January, you see a few changes to this Manchester United side with the African Cup of Nations. We need these players in now. We can't have a midfielder come in January and try and get up to speed with them. We've got to go and get it now. If 55 million was really what we bid for Baleba, well, Adam Wharton, no chance. They will want 80 to 100 million, I think, with that one. Go out there and get Hjulmand. Go out there and do it. Just get out there and get this player in. This guy knows exactly how to play in this formation that Amorim has brought to Manchester United. It's a no-brainer. Baleba's done. Like, I'd be amazed if Baleba come. And I know I was sat here a few weeks ago singing I'm a believer, but I was because there was spin. Now I'm back to being realist, right? Realist Dan is back in the building. And I feel like go out there and get this guy. He will add so much to this Manchester United side. As Chappie says, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Be great to get those numbers up and really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Ben says, I love it. They can't stop talking about us, living in their heads rent-free. Ben, I love this comment. I love this comment. I just watched a conversation for 20 minutes with United in it. You know what I mean? Hated, adored, but never ignored. Never a more truer fucking phrase. Apologies for the language, but very, very angry tonight. Jamie says, if we play like that all season, we'll get fifth. I'm not sure about fifth, but what I will say that here now, if Sesko gets firing, if we can keep the team playing like we were doing yesterday, outplaying Arsenal in so many spells, I feel like the teams that we were struggling in and around last season and the teams in that tier between 6th and 12th, I feel like we're more than a match, and I feel like we will end the season a lot higher than where we were. And 15th was a joke. This season, we have to go for it. We have to go for it. Niche fan says, if we brought Eddie Howe in with this team, we're getting 5th. It's fair analysis. Moxie says, how many Arsenal fans have commented on how ineffective Gyökeres was? These so-called other fans are now also worried about United, so that's why they're shouting fakes. I agree. Akko says, we did great yesterday, guys, and we were robbed, but I wish the players protested better. When you say protested, do you mean for the penalty, Akko? Do you mean the penalty? There's a lot to say for that, you know. There's a lot to say for that. How many times have we seen United players surround a referee? There's a lot to say. Maybe an attitude changes there. We should have bought... We wouldn't have got Reinders. No chance with Reinders have come to us, niche fan. I take it, but no chance. Isaac says, hi, Dan. Feel like I'm a long way behind now, so need to catch up also. I did say I thought United would struggle to afford the Baleba deal without any sales. Thanks for reminding me. It's what I need tonight. Does feel great to be back on your lives, though. You've redeemed yourself there, Isaac. Well played. Mountain Bruno are his favourites. He's playing them every game, says Niche Fan. And I see Lukaku has been ruled out for a minimum of 3 months, and Napoli have reportedly made Rasmus their option as cover. Either way, just their interest may just proceed to Milan too. I agree. Kev, big shout out to Kev, who absolutely saved me yesterday and allowed me to use his setup. And Moxie curtails this into a great segue here, because we have seen today that Højlund and Xerxes, in the space of 7 or 8 hours, were both linked with Napoli due to the injury that Lukaku has taken. 3 months out of the game for him. I feel like it is the obvious route for Højlund. I do. I think Italy will be the route that Højlund takes. Xerxes, Manchester United were quick to come out and say, absolutely not, Xerxes stays. I still don't agree with that. I still think that Rasmus is the option to keep over Xerxes. Not saying Rasmus is going to light a game up, but I think as an option to come off the bench as a striker, he is maybe for me the one I'd keep. Xerxes is a 10 all day long. In this new system, Xerxes is a 10. But Manchester United want Højlund to depart. So remember this. There's a £40 million asking price, but United could yet entertain a loan under the right conditions despite the preference to sell. And that right conditions is one thing. It is going to be a loan with an obligation to buy. It is going to be a loan with an obligation to buy. I think this happens soon. I think we're going to see exits with some players very soon, and it has to, because Manchester United have 2 weeks left in the transfer window. What I would also go back to say is that Manchester United, with as equal as it is that people will have to leave the club quick, I just wonder how much we are waiting for some of these players now to get out of this club so we can go and make the signings. But where are we sitting here, guys? Where are we sitting here? How many of these players now do we expect to leave this club? How many players do we honestly expect to leave this club? I think I'm going to say it. I think four. I think 4 will go. I think Anthony will go. I think Højlund will go. I think Garnacho will go. And I think I'm not even going to say the S word, Jack, so I don't want to talk about him. But I think Manchester United are in that situation now. I just wonder if there was a bit of fanfare and beating of chest because we beat Newcastle to Sesko that we just all assumed, well, with the way we're doing it and the fact Belabor apparently wants us, that we go out there and we get Belabor. So realism has taken hold of us. But at the same time, I think Manchester United will bring in players. I do think that's going to happen. Comments on this. Let me have a quick look here. So, yes, but it's a new rule this season that only the captain of each team can approach to appeal any decisions, or any other players will be booked. And let's hope they stick with it. Well, I'm going to disagree with this, mate. I'm disagreeing with you on this one. We've seen Manchester United play a few times in pre-season. We saw it yesterday in the first half with this false 9. It doesn't work, bro. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Xerxes will not work as that false 9. We can't rely on this. Xerxes might get a few goals for us this season, and I sit here and I'm begging him to do so to shut me up. I want to sit here at the end of the season and go, absolutely wrong about Xerxes. Wahaha, you absolutely showed me there, mate. This guy's got 12, 13, 14 goals. But I don't think it'll happen. I wasn't impressed with him last season, and I'm not feeling confident with him this season. And yes, 20 watching. Let's get those likes up, people. Let's get those likes up and running, please. And Real Betis was, we'll go on to that in a second, Joel, don't worry. For me, out of the two, I personally keep Højlund and sell Xerxes, maybe for slightly more money too. And Niche Fan says, do you think we've maybe bought a lemon with Sesko? Maybe we should have used Brian in the 9 and used the money on it. Nah, definitely not, Niche Fan. Definitely not. Definitely. Brian Mbeumo is not a number 9. We saw it yesterday. He plays better as the 10. We can't sit here and say that we've bought a lemon with Sesko. The guy has literally played 25 minutes of football for Manchester United. I remember a few years ago, a certain Van Persie coming on for his debut against Everton when we lost 1-0. And I wasn't impressed. I went, Jesus Christ, we've just all this fanfare. Yes, granted, he was proven before that. But I thought, what have we done here? We can't do that. We've got to allow Sesko to hit the ground running with Manchester United. We've got to allow Sesko to have a few games under his belt. We can't even consider even naming him a lemon until we've seen that. And it doesn't work with a Mount. No, I agree with that, but I don't think it works with a Xerxes. But again, mate, I'm happy to be proved wrong. You know this about me. If I'm wrong, I'll say it. Keith says one player Hoyland is the good guy and has been forced out. It's shameful. There is an element of him being forced out, but then Keith, at the same time, as much as I'm backing him here, you have to look at last season and go, he wasn't good enough. But I just think out of the two for the position as a number 9, I think United get rid of Hoyland and we're very light at number 9. We never played it with a proper forward. Okay, look, but he isn't a proper forward. He isn't a forward. Wahaha. He said it himself. He's not a 10. He's not a 10. He's a 9.5. Rashford, Rasmus, Anthony, Garnacho, and Malacia will be gone. Well, Malacia, I mean, Jesus Christ, poor guy's sat there bloody doing nothing at the moment. Even if Hoyland had started yesterday, he would have given us a focal point at least. Moxie Shun, that is a great point. That is a great point, and I think I said it yesterday. How different would Manchester United have played with Hoyland up top yesterday, being that focal point? How different? Because we saw it against West Ham, we saw it against Bournemouth, that he was more aggressive in the role, he was more decisive in the role, got a couple of goals. I'd have started Rasmus Hoyland up top yesterday over this false 9 nonsense that we've seen. I would have started him yesterday. I would have. And I've got no shame in admitting that. And what we got here from Isaac, he says, I think a lot of your players will probably go at the end of the window. When clubs feel you will be more agreeable to let players go for lower fees just to get players like Garnacho at the club. Garnacho will not leave for 30 million. Garnacho won't leave for 30 million. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would rather that little so-and-so rot in the reserves then go for 30 million. Patrice Evra was taken off at half-time on his debut. He did it right in the end. And yes, Marcus Rashford has been registered for Barcelona. He and the goalkeeper got registered. I think, did he make his debut? Did he come on as a sub yesterday? Premier League is done for passing and captain law. If the captain is a goalkeeper, he'll have to travel miles. I thought we were saving time here. Everything works like that, to be fair, Akko. Forward as in proper false 9, which I think he is. Wahaha, look, honestly, mate, dude, you're one of my favourites on here. You know that. I want to be proven wrong. I want to be proven wrong, but I don't think he is the answer. I just don't see Xerxes as the guy that when Sesko's not playing that you go, it's all right, we got Xerxes. We got Xerxes. It's okay. I just don't see it. I also think Rasmus would be far better in this setup with Brian and Cunha, and that is absolutely factual. And to be fair, as soon as Sesko come on, we could see him holding it up. We could. And they were always going to, of course they were. It's Barcelona. Again, I'm same as you. It might not work, but we should see it first. Yeah, but Wahaha, are we in that situation where we can afford to see if it works? Do you know what I'm saying? Are we in that situation? Because here's the other thing, right? And I will say this. Rival fans will love this. Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. I think Ruben Amorim, ridiculously, is going to be under a lot of pressure on Sunday against Fulham. Away at Fulham, tough place to go for some teams. He will absolutely be under pressure because if Manchester United go there and stink the place out and we lose 1-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1, whatever, or draw 0-0 without a goal, then the questions are going to start coming flying out. Then the rival fans are going to come out saying this guy's a fraud, he shouldn't be in there. I saw it again on Sunday after the United game. I saw so many comments about the manager and I was just like, just concentrate on your own team, lads. Do you know what I mean? It's an interesting one for me. It's an interesting one. I think on Sunday he'll go with Sesko up top and we'll see Onana in there. I'm just going to be interested to see who he puts in that midfield if he goes with Casemiro and Bruno again. Because as I said, Bruno in the first half ineffectual, and I thought actually, I thought Cassie was a lot better in the first half, but the guy's legs went in after 60 minutes. I also think we'll see Diallo start. I think we'll see that. But make no mistake, guys. I personally can sit here and see us going and getting a result at Fulham. I can sit here and say that I think Manchester United go on Sunday to Fulham and I think we have a good go at them. I genuinely do. I genuinely do. What are you lot thinking in the chat? Are you feeling as confident as me or am I talking waffle here? Well, apparently we're in a situation where we pick random keepers to see if it works. Well, who would you have put in? Who would you have put in? Would you have put Heaton in against Arsenal first game of the season, 39? Big up, Shane. Good to see you, my man. Let's start with Rasmus at Fulham now. Rasmus will be gone by then, Niche fan. And you're right, Xerxes should be put on the table instead of Rasmus. A lot of people agree with that. As much as the problem Rashford was in his own regard, I respect his efforts to find a new start and play football, unlike Garnacho and Sancho. Do you know something, Mike? You make a valid point here. Like, as much as I had all the things to say about Marcus Rashford said from day one, I want to go Barcelona, make it happen. He went. Then you have, let me see if I can bring, I'm not even going to bring a picture of him up. This is where I'm going to start getting angry, right? This is where I'm going to start getting angry. Then you have the reports of Jadon Sancho. And this is where I'm going to get really, really angry. Jadon Sancho apparently has rejected going to AS Roma. Now, there are different versions of events here. There are. I think the real issue is the same one it's always been. It's been money. It's been about money. Now, I don't know where to turn to with this guy. Because in one aspect, it's about money. But in another aspect, he doesn't want to go to Turkey where they'll pay him the money because I think he thinks the league's beneath him. I can't get my head around this guy. I honestly cannot get my head around this guy. Now, Di Marzio has come out tonight and said, Roma remained determined to sign Jadon Sancho even after the player rejected the move in recent hours. If I was AS Roma, I would tell that guy to swivel. And I said this on TikTok before, and this is what really, really, really angers me. No, Sancho won't go to Saudi, Niche fan, because Sancho believes in his heart, just hit the funny bone there, in his heart of hearts, Sancho believes that he is still good enough to be at the elite, to be at the top, to be with a big, big club. Well, let me say something to you, Sancho. You are not. Your output for the last 3 years has been minimal at best. Your attitude in the last 3 years has been disgusting. You have this dream in your head. You had the option to go to Chelsea, but you asked for too much money. Because funnily enough, the old regime, we were foolish enough to make you think that you deserved that money. You absolutely do not deserve that money. You deserve nothing but failure, Sancho. We are going to have to sit here now over the next couple of weeks praying that you decide to have a thought in your head that you want to go play football for a decent amount of money. And I'm not going to bore you all with the fact footballers are paid a lot of money for a short career. Yeah, of course they are. And they do have a short career. But you know something? This guy has been stealing a living for the past 3.5, 4 years. And it's about time that Manchester United do something here. It is about time Manchester United do something here. If he's not going to go, just rip his contract up. Rip his contract up. Because at the moment, we're going to have to pay him that money anyway, regardless of the fact that he doesn't want to go anywhere. If he doesn't go anywhere, we're still going to pay him the same wages each week. This guy and the people around him need to wake up and smell the coffee. You are privileged as a man. You are privileged as a man to be able to do the thing that millions and millions and millions of people, probably billions of people want. That is to be a professional footballer. That is to be out there adored by thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of fans. You get that. You get that chance. But what do? You sit there and you just completely throw it away. You throw it away because of your attitude. And the fact that this guy still will not leave this club because people aren't matching his demands for wages, it absolutely infuriates me. It infuriates me. The question you have to ask, does he want money or the prestige? I don't think this guy gives a flying hoot. I'm doing so well not to swear here tonight. I don't think this guy gives a flying hoot about where he ends up. I honestly don't. I think it's all about the Benjamins. I genuinely think it's all about the Benjamins. The only thing he won't do is Turkey at the moment. That's the one thing he won't do for money, or Saudi. In Europe, if there is a club willing to match his demands, then he's there, baby. He's there. Give me the shirt. Yeah, I'm going to take the picture. Yeah. You know, I'm really excited to play, you know. No, nobody is excited to see you play anymore. Any fan of any club that is linked with Sancho, I honestly, if it was me as a Roma fan, I'd be going, thank God for that. Dodged a bullet there. Dodged a bullet there. Honestly, it absolutely infuriates me. And I'm at a point now with Sancho where at the start of the transfer window, it was funny. Yeah, you know, it's not anymore. It's not. It's absolutely not anymore. The other one, of course, and I think sometimes in life you do get justice. Garnacho was not selected for Argentina for the World Cup qualifiers. And that is music to my ears, because he is another one that is taking a big dump on this club. Another one that believes that he is this higher power and that he deserves so much from the game. You, mate, have literally just started your career. We as fans don't owe you nothing. The club do not owe you anything. What you owe is yourself. You owe yourself to have a bit of self-respect about yourself and go out there and prove you're worth a damn. Not sit there getting tattooed with a vape in your hands, yeah? And just, absolutely, it absolutely riles me. Now, Chelsea are quite right to do this, because they can see United don't want him, because we did make a mistake in saying, right, we don't want him anymore. Chelsea are going, we'll give you 30 million or nothing. United are a little backed in the corner with that one. But I would go back to you all and say, but are they? Are they backed into a corner? Or do Manchester United just say to this little idiotic moron, do you know something? Garnacho, we don't need to sell you, mate. So I've got some news for you. You see Carrington, you know you're going there at 5 o'clock to do your training? Get used to it, mate, for the next 12 months. Get yourself, and I tell you what, book yourself some tickets to America. No, not because you're playing. You can go there as a fan and watch in the stands, mate. Just play the power play now, Manchester United. I would rather see this player sit there and just rot away, not being able to play any football. I would rather sit there on deadline day and see that Manchester United have not allowed this player to go because it's less than the money that we want. And then I would love nothing more than to see this player come out in October, in November. I would prefer this player then to say, do you know something? I want to play for this club. I'm sorry, you know, I've had a change of heart. I want to be there. I want to play. Just for us to say, absolutely not. Manchester United, for all of the good work we've done going forward, we are still being held back by bozos in the background. And yes, Manchester United could have done more to get rid of some players. Yes, of course we could. We absolutely could have. But how are we meant to get rid of Anthony when he only wants Betis and Betis will only do a loan? How are we meant to get rid of Garnacho when we want 50 million, rightly so, and Chelsea are only willing to pay 30? How are we meant to get rid of Sancho when this guy has had offer after offer? He's had more offers than Bonnie Blue, yeah? And he still won't leave the club. Malacia, poor bloke, nobody wants him. Honestly, I'd just release him. I'd just pay and get rid of him. How are Manchester United able to do this? I tell you how they can't, because they are still held back by the same regime that were there a couple of years ago, by Ten Hag's mistakes in the transfer market. That is how we're being held back. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been so angry at a group of players. And I got so angry last season watching them. Do you know what I saw yesterday? Do you know what I saw when we went 1-0 down? I saw a group of players that went, lads, come on, let's get back in this. We ain't out of this. And they pushed and they pushed. Couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. Formation was wrong for that. Didn't have the striker up there. But what I saw was a group of players who were united, who were fighting for the same cause. I didn't see any head shakes, and I didn't see any of those stupid Instagram messages of, oh, we go again. I saw a group of lads that went, okay, it wasn't what we wanted. We're going to change this. Honestly, my throat's hurting from being so angry. Let's go through some of these comments because I've neglected a few here. What have we got here? I think we win against Fulham, says Andreas. If we don't have a luxury now to see, we don't have the luxury now to see if Xerxes can work. Sesko simply has to start against Fulham. It will be an Anna in goal. Ahmad will start and Ugarte may start over Casemiro. I friggin' hope not. Mike says 3-0 on Sunday, all 3. And honestly, I'd love it. 3-0, love it. If we play like we did against Arsenal, we will beat Fulham. We have to have a striker up there, though, Jamie, but I agree. I think Garnacho is pretty keen to leave, to be fair. He has already been posting about playing in blue. He is, but his problem is Chelsea won't pay over 30 million. And I love the fact that Chelsea have said, we've done our due diligence checks on him. I think there's a reason why they don't want to pay the 50 million for him. I think there's still concerns there, I honestly do. As much as we shite on Anana, he's the best of the lot. Also, Amarim said he didn't start him because he had no preseason. Heaton had more. I agree. I agree with that. It's fair. Sancho decided it won't happen. Whatever he's doing, it makes little sense. Do you think we will end up signing a midfielder and a goalkeeper before the window closes? Do you know something? Whilst we're going through these messages, I am going to put it to you, fantastic people. I actually haven't done one yet, have I? I haven't done one yet. Let's do a poll. Do we sign a midfielder and a goalkeeper? Simple, yes or no. Yes or no. Do we sign a midfielder and a goalkeeper? Yes or no. Yes or no. Simple as that. Put your votes in there. And make sure you're liking and subscribing, people. Let's get those likes up as best we can. Kev says the fact that Chelsea paid $5 million to get to say Tatar to Sancho is pretty damning for him. If I was a player, I would be absolutely devastated that a club has paid to send me back. Like, it's not the humiliation normally is, oh, we're not gonna do anything with the fact that they paid us to get out of an agreement for this guy. The guy has no class. Hope Rashford does great at Barcelona with his little buddy Yamal. Do you know something? I'm over it with Rashford now. I am. I want him to do well. He's away from Manchester United. The better he does, the more likely it is that they sign him at the end of the season. So I wish him nothing but the best. Chris says most important position in the team is a goalkeeper. I agree. What are United doing just by Donnarumma? The problem with that, Chris, is simple. Manchester United go out there and try and buy Donnarumma, it will fall flat on its face because that guy wants 300 grand a week. Manchester United can't afford to do that. They've done the right thing in putting that wage structure in place. It would be a waste of time, be a waste of money as well. Guys will class, but here's the other thing with that. Attitude is surely a problem there for Luis Enrique to say, I don't want you anymore. Chappie says Sancho obviously has no ambition, just a money grabber. Sancho only cares about money, and I can bet he'll end up at Turkey because his wage demands are crazy, and he's not even worth what he asks. But the problem is, Mike, I don't think he does. Besiktas are really pushing for him, and there are reports apparently that the club legends of Besiktas are filming a video currently because it's all done. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll absolutely believe it when I see it. I don't think is there any news that's dropped on him now while we're live? Let's have a look. No, there's no news. I can't see any news on him that's dropped just yet. I believe it when I see it. Nacho will be sold in a year. If he, do you know something? Santos makes a great point here. And I was talking to Kev. Kev come round to mine for a coffee before, just a coffee. And I said, Garnacho goes to Chelsea and lasts there 2 years and he'd be gone. And I firmly believe that. You're looking at the player turnover with Chelsea. If a player comes in and it doesn't click like that, they're out the door. And I think that would happen with Garnacho. Put Garnacho in the reserves. Chris, I agree with that. I can't read that one out, Moxie, but I completely agree. Garnacho makes me laugh, says Andy. If he struggles, they won't think twice about getting rid of him. Took the words right out of my mouth there. Garnacho will apologise again, and Garnacho is going to end up in the reserves, career wasted at a young age. Santos says, hope Betis lose all their games until the transfer window closes. Anthony has been done wrong by them. And actually, I will agree with that. Anthony has been let down by Real Betis. Make no mistake about it. What Anthony's problem is here, he is showing nothing but blind devotion to this club because they gave him a chance in the January transfer window. He went there. He had a great rest of the season for him. But what the problem is, unfortunately, is they have told him, you're coming to this club, don't worry. We hold the power here. Just get your head down, you'll be here. And unfortunately for him, at the moment, I think United are right to hold fast. I think United absolutely right. He has been sold a dream. He knows that it is the World Cup this summer. Anthony had just done so well, and I will give him his flowers, so well to get back into that Brazil side, along with Casemiro, funnily enough. But I don't see Ancelotti picking him if he's not playing. I don't see it at all. And Anthony's already ruined the start of his own season. Because Anthony, for me, hasn't had a pre-season. He's not been allowed to train with anybody. He's had his personal trainer. He is so far behind in fitness levels with the players he's going to be going to that I think this has fallen flat on his face. I genuinely feel like at the end of last season when he said his tearful goodbye, I think they turned around to him and they said, you'll be back here pre-season. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. It's gone wrong. It's gone horribly wrong for the lad. Moxie says, come on, people. There are twice as many viewers than likes. You know what to do. Hit those likes. Yes, make sure you're hitting the like, people. We are definitely doing our best to get this up. What else have we got here? I think United should put their foot down and tell all these players to find a club that's actually going to do a bid, or they rot in the reserves. Yeah, I agree. But then, do you know something, Mike? I genuinely feel like Jadon Sancho sat there going, I don't care. I'm getting 250 big ones a week. If I don't go, I'll sit and play PlayStation for a year. Don't bother me. 25 years old. No ambition. It's a disgrace. Isaac says, do you honestly believe 50 million is a fair price for Garnacho just based on his footballing ability? I would agree, but his attitude massively depreciates his value, in my opinion. And this is where I go back to with that, Isaac. If Chelsea are only willing to offer 30, are there concerns that, yeah, this kid is talented, but we do worry about what's behind the eyes there, what's between the ears? Do they have that concern? And they think, well, 30 million, if we get him for that and it doesn't work, we'll get our money back when we sell him. Because let's be honest, Chelsea, for all of the people that are saying they're this, that, and the other, they're great sellers. They know exactly how to sell players. Chris says United have to show they hold the power with these players. Costly in the short term, but a powerful message for players present and future. Put Sancho and Garnacho in the reserves, no fire sale prices. And Betis winning right now, great. If we get 0 points from the first 5 games, is Amorim gone? Well, of course he is, niche fan. I'd be an idiot to sit here and say that United would back him. That no manager in the world would survive. I mean, I think Arteta was very fortunate 3 games in a few years ago on 0 points, and I remember him just getting tonked by City 5-0. I think Xhaka got sent off in that game, and I thought he was gone, but they stuck with him, and then he started to show the signs of turning it around. But if Manchester United end up with 0 points from the first 5 games, yeah, Amorim definitely will go. I absolutely think he would go. Of course he would. But we don't sit here as United fans and think that's possible. I don't think it's possible. From what I saw against Arsenal, I think Manchester United have everything about them to change this. They need that midfielder. They need that goalkeeper. We sort those positions out, and Manchester United are a whole different kettle of fish here. The question you always are going to ask yourself is, regardless of us moaning about the goalkeeper, regardless of us moaning about the midfielder, how different would it have been if we'd had a striker up there on Sunday? I go back to it. How much different would Manchester United have played if we'd have had a goalkeeper or an out-and-out number 9 up top against them? I think it would have changed the whole way we'd have set up, and I think we'd have been more potent against them. New goalkeeper is most important. A bad keeper loses the game. Let's have a look how the votes are getting on. Let's have a quick look at this a second. The votes are looking as follows. Where are we? 84% are saying that they do believe that we will sign a midfielder and a goalkeeper. Love that. Absolutely love that. And what else have we got? Leeds penalty. I'm not even watching that because I'm talking to you lovely people. Betis a skint. That's not a penalty. His arm by his side. Surely we are overturn this. Let's have a look. Does anyone know what's happened with the goal there? Anyone tell what's happened with the goal there? I've not got it on. Anthony wants to be happy. He's a fantastic footballer when he's happy. I don't blame him only wanting Betis. I've got no problem with Anthony just wanting Betis. Like I said, they gave him the opportunity. He is showing loyalty. Nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. But again, Manchester United can't be bullied by rail beg. We can't do it. And I think Manchester United at the moment are perhaps showing that. That's why we've rejected interest with loan. The big thing for Manchester United here will be if they let him go on loan at the end of the transfer window. If Anthony hasn't gone by what should we say? If there's no Anthony news by the 30th of August, then I will start to worry. Because then you will start to see the player pushing, I think, for the transfer to go ahead. Now, the good thing Manchester United have in this aspect is, like you've seen Isak and Visser do, they're going on strike, they're not playing, they don't want to do it. I don't think Visser has yet. That's wrong with me, but I know Isak has. What we are seeing here is a scenario where if Anthony says, well, I ain't training, United go, well, you ain't training anyway, lad. You know what I mean? Yeah, sound. You do you, boo. It's so frustrating. Jamie says, this opening weekend there's been so many. Do you know something? You could do a whole stream on VAR and how much it's ruining the game. You honestly could. I saw the Palace game. I thought that was harsh. The Liverpool game was bad. I thought they fudged up massively there. It was a great atmosphere at Old Trafford yesterday. Do you know something, Andy? You're spot on there. I thought Manchester United was rocking yesterday, and the fans have to take a lot of plaudits for that. Even in our worst times, Manchester United has still been a place that absolutely sings and sings and sings. The fans deserve so much more. The players, I think, want to give the fans so much more. Amorim is desperate to give the fans more. We need to push forward. Fulham is going to be just as important. In fact, Fulham is more important for me than Arsenal first game of the season. Yeah, it's a shocker. No, and I'll tell you why United aren't going to settle for the second best players. There's plenty of mediocre and midfielders out there that are not good enough for us, and I can't see United. Do you know, Billy Pratt makes a very good point there. Makes a very, very good point there. As much as I'm sat here saying that United have to go out there and get Hjulmand, what we don't want is Manchester United to panic and go out there and bring a midfielder that will add absolutely nothing to the squad. There is only two players for me, other than Baleba, that United can go out there and get and know that they are going to change the way we play football. That's Hjulmand and Wharton. Wharton, absolutely no chance. If we got rejected by the Baleba bid because we only had 55 million, then there's no way that Manchester United are going to go out there and look at Wharton. No chance. The other side of it is Hjulmand is absolutely gettable. Hjulmand is gettable. Manchester United have a really good relationship with Sporting. I think that's the transfer that we go get and change the dynamics of the way we played football. Yesterday, we saw Casemiro for the first half. He was flying in. He was breaking up the lines when Arsenal were trying to impact us on the break. Now, one thing I will add is there were some concerns yesterday with the sense that when Arsenal did break, the difference in Arsenal breaking as opposed to United was quite scary because Arsenal, I saw so many times, were flying forward, 6 or 7 players, and we'd have 5, and you'd see Casemiro doing his best to run back. Switch that, Manchester United, when we were breaking, the Arsenal players were running back like ants defending a colony. They were rapid. So I do think that's something that needs changing. Mike says, what's crazy about Anthony is even after Atletico Madrid were willing to sign him, he's too hung up on Betis to see other opportunities. I could talk all night about Anthony. If Arsenal pay 55 million for Noddy, surely we deserve the same, if not more, for Garnacho. Well, yes and no. Arsenal were foolish enough to pay 55 million for Noddy Madueke. You know, you see a lot of Arsenal fans that are not happy with that signing. A lot of Chelsea fans are sat there going, how the hell have we got this much money for this lad? It's different, isn't it? It's different. I believe Amorim is going to cook this season, says Mike. If you're a United fan at this moment and not seeing the vision, then I don't know. Mike, I take that, and I will kind of agree with that. I don't think that he's going to cook necessarily, because for me, cooking means that you win the Premier League or you absolutely get into the top 4 at a canter. I think he's going to do well this summer. This season. I do think he's going to do well, but doing well by our expectations and doing well by rival fans' expectations are two complete different things. The way that rival fans talk, they believe, as much as they say how poor United are, they speak as though we should be in the Champions League. We shouldn't. We're so far behind that, it's scary. But Manchester United, by our expectations, should be fighting at the right end of the table. And when I say the right end of the table, we need to be the best of the 15. Take the top 5 away. We need to be the best of the 15. And that to me is going to show what a good season is for Amorim. Start on Sunday. Get 3 points. We get 3 points on Sunday, and we can start focusing then on. Grimsby away. Oh, it's so rank that we're playing Grimsby away in the bloody Carabao Cup, and then it's Burnley at home. Then we get to the international break. Let me say this: Manchester United getting to the international break with 6 points from 9 is great. That's what we want. Manchester United going into the international break on 2 points is an absolute mess, and there will be questions asked. I think Manchester United can get 6 points from the next 2 games. I strongly believe that. I said at the start of the season that we'd get 7 points from the first 5. At the moment, I'm on track for that because I thought we'd get the 2 wins against Fulham and Burnley, and I thought we may pick a point up at home to City away at City, or maybe at home to Chelsea. One of the 2, I think we'll get a draw in. But Manchester United now, in the next 2 games, are going to have to do something that they haven't done under Amorim. They're going to have to win 2 Premier League games in a row, back-to-back wins. This team is already showing with attitude that we are moving in the right direction. That is the first checkpoint that Amorim needs to be looking at. And that may sound silly. And that may look us like we're absolutely, worth being ridiculed for just being happy with that. But what we're happy with and what other fans are happy with, I couldn't give a flying absolute ridiculous nuts about what rival fans think we should be doing. What I do care about is what Manchester United do. And I can sit there and I can take from rival fans that, oh, United are in the bin, United are this, that, and the other. Yeah, United are in the bin, and yet you still talk about us. This is where I'm at. Manchester United concentrate on us and us alone this season. I've said it before. I'll say it 150 times if I need to on this stream. We don't answer to what other fans do. Let other fans ridicule us. Let other fans say that we're absolutely in the mud. Let other fans say that we're dog mess. It doesn't concern me anymore. A bit tonight, and actually, funnily enough, look who's just joined. It's a raid from the 12th man who big up 12th man, big up Potts for sending the raid. But I'm still angry with you boys on 12th man. I was like a keyboard warrior tonight watching 12th man for the first 25 minutes because all I could hear was United are this, United are that. Yeah. Trying to do this and answer, horrendous. But anyway, big up Potts. Thanks for the raid there. And I'm surprised that nobody's come in and said anything nonsensical, to be fair. What have we got here? Yeah, big up, Jeff. Big up. What pleased me yesterday was it looks like the players believe in the manager's tactics. I agree with that to an aspect, Andy, but I do still think that Amorim was wrong to start with that rotating three. For me, the importance of having a striker in this formation, we saw it in pre-season. We saw the effects with and we saw the effects without. The effects with, we beat West Ham, we beat Bournemouth. And yes, you can argue West Ham and Bournemouth. West Ham have got no midfield and Bournemouth have been pulled apart. But then when we played without that striker up top, and we played with this false nine nonsense, that is where we struggled. So there are questions for and about. There really are. What have we got here? I'm going to need more than that. 12th man, yeah. Make sure you're liking and subscribing if you're new to the chat, by the way, people. We are trying to get to 1,200, I believe. So help us get there. That would be great. It's Jay, good to see you. Dan, I realised we are light years away from City and Liverpool. At least we have the best YouTubers. I love that. We are. We absolutely are. So when I see City fans turning around and saying, oh, United are so poor, man. Yeah, that's fine. Concentrate on you boys. I've seen City fans tweet more about United in the last 24 hours than I've seen the last 12 months of us being absolutely abysmal. Yikes, man. Yikes. Carabao Cup, yes. You was big now, you are not. Big 5. You was big. Are you talking about me? Are you saying I've lost weight 40 and 50? Because I need to hear that, mate. You was big now, and now you are not. Thank you. Appreciate that. I know what you're talking about, really. And big up, Ryan. Good to see you. But why are you not getting at Amorim for saying he can beat anybody to win the league after losing with 20-plus shots on goal and not scoring? Why am I not getting at him? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to... Hang on a minute. Ruben, why say that, bruh? Why say that? Because he's a manager. He's going to come out after a game. Managers come out after football games and say ridiculous things. I've heard Arteta say absolutely ridiculous things. I've seen Pep sulk like a child. I've seen Klopp say ridiculous things. The Premier League, the fans of rival clubs, are so just in. Amorim is in rival fans' heads. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Show some love, chat, and hit the like button. Subscribe and boogie. I love that, Ryan. Love that. Thank you, mate. Whose take? Oh, I see what you mean. I get you. United need to invest in proper scouts. How is it Brighton, Man City keep finding top talent at cheap prices, but United don't? Well, Chris, I take that point and I disagree. United were interested in a couple of players that City were interested in. We didn't get them. They weren't going to come to us over the clubs like that. The thing to remember here, Chris, is Manchester United, as much as we've got Brian, we've got Cunha, we've got Sesko, a lot of these up and coming talents, across Europe, they want to play for a club in the in the Champions League. We missed out on players because of where we are in our process. We were lucky to get Heaven. We were lucky to get Kone. It's just the way football is. It's just the way it is. Evening, Ryan Arsenal. Oh yeah, there we go. Niche fan wants Eddie Howe at the helm. Oh God. I just smack my head. Dan, I didn't see the match. Did you win? I heard we were crap. I know what you're doing there, Ryan. Scouts can highlight players, but the owners need to be okay. Look, scouts are scouts. Scouts get things wrong as well. Manchester United, with the budget they have, I think we were dosed with an absolute sense of realism. If you believe what Laurie Whitwell said, Manchester United bid 55 million for Baleba. There are some reports, and I've read them, where I've gone, United have got bags of money. We're going to go for it. We're going to spend. I think United hit their spending limit. I think Manchester United still expected to have got rid of a few players before this date, before the 18th of August. I think Manchester United were banking on the fact Sancho went, but Sancho doesn't want to play football. Sancho's just an idiot who will. This is honest. Do you know what? I tell you what Sancho reminds me of. This is Sancho in a nutshell. Jadon Sancho is that cheapskate at a restaurant that doesn't want to buy a meal, just wants the free water or the free coffee. And every time, so he goes, yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, give me the. Oh yeah, I'll have a look at the menu. Yeah. And inside he's thinking, I ain't staying here I'm not buying anything. Every time the waiter comes around, you interested? Yeah, I'm still looking. That is what Jadon Sancho does. He's constantly looking. He's telling these players, these clubs, yeah, I fancy it. And then as soon as they get into the big bit and the money bit, he's going, what, you're not going to pay me 250 grand a week? Well, I'm worth that. You ain't worth shit, son. You ain't worth shit. What are your thoughts on Sesko? Look, FFT. I honestly don't think how any football fan on the planet can genuinely look at Sesko after 25 minutes and say, well, he's not good enough. This guy is going to have time to play. He is. I'm excited to see what he does when he starts. And I'll be honest with that. I'll be frank. And I don't know if you were digging or if you were asking a genuine question. If you're asking a genuine question, I'm excited to see what he does. I honestly expect him to do well. Let's not have an Amorim Arteta quote off. There's only one loser and it's not us. And it is real, apparently. Honest, we were crap. United playing their best football in years. Draw would have been fair. Look who it is. Yeah. I'm not happy with you one bit, Wolfie. I'm telling you, I'm furious with you. Furious with you for that comment. Dan trying to get attention. Yeah, it's called a chat, mate. I'm not on the show to give my opinion, but I'm allowed to go. Oh, you riled me tonight, Sunshine. Still love you, but you riled me. And Pete, big up Pete and Forest Fan TV. If you've not checked them out, make sure you go check their channels out. Both of them incredible content creators, incredible at what they do, and have both been very, very supportive of my channel. Mods, if you can pop their channels into the chat for me, that would be phenomenal. What else have we got here? I was playing FIFA with Sancho on PS5 after the stream. Oh, God. Jadon Sancho's the epitome of rage quitting as well. Guarantee he'd be a rage quitter. And no, I appreciate that, FFT. I really do. And guys, make sure you're getting the likes up. Where are we at on these likes? I haven't looked for a while. Let me check where we are. 31 likes, guys. There's over 100 in the chat here. I want to get those chats up. Let's get those likes up and hit the subscribe button if you're new. It's all about helping this channel grow, this community that you may not be a part of the Dan United community, but by the looks of it, you are part of the Football 12 Man's community, Pete's community, Wolfie's community. And what that community is, I will tell you all now, is a phenomenal community. We may not support the same football clubs, but we want the same for our clubs. And that is why I adore each and every one of you. Big up, Dan. Yeah, big up yourself there, Pete. And hit the like, people. Thank you, Niche Fan. I appreciate that. And yeah, flattery gets you everywhere, doesn't it? Forest Fan TV, honestly. I can't. Do you know something? I need to be back on Football's 12th Man so bad, because sitting there the last couple of weeks and listening to you guys, honestly, I'm sat here punching the table. I am sat here punching the table. And yeah, thank you, Ryan. Big shout out to Ryan there. No, you don't, Kev. No, you don't. Honestly, man. Honestly. Let's have a quick look on Twitter, guys, and see if we've got any updates here. Does any... Honestly, this is... Right. I'm going to say this. And I want you all to listen to this. Okay? I'm seeing some content creators putting out there that United are going to go for Wharton. This is where I back myself as one of the most realistic thinking Manchester United fans on the planet. I back myself. As much as I was foolish to be led by the Belabor news, I saw the light. My eyes look beautiful there. Look at those eyes, man. Manchester United will not go in for Wharton. Manchester United cannot afford Wharton. Two things. English tax. And we bid 55 million, if you believe it, for Belabor. So I don't want to see United getting gassed about. I don't want to see content creators and United fans getting gassed that were going for Wharton. No way. That ship has sailed. And Niche fan, you hit the nail on the head. If we put a 55 million bid, I tell you what, let's go honest here. There's 128 of you in this chat. Let's fucking ask the question. Sorry, swearing again. And yes, 78% of you said we do need to sign a midfielder and a goalkeeper. Simple question here, folks. Not if, not should. Can United afford Wharton? Yes or no? Can Manchester United afford Wharton? Because I'll tell you my answer straight away. Hell no. Hell to the no. No chance. Vince McMahon coming down. No chance in hell. That is Manchester United. No chance in that. I can't believe that we're still seeing content creators saying this. If we haven't got Belabor, if we can't afford him, where are we getting the money from? I ain't giving them any of this. That's my beer fund. No chance. I can't take it. I don't think we're. And do you know something? Kev, I'm going to disagree with this, mate. I'm going to disagree with this. I don't think we're done with transfers in. I don't. What I will say is I think the big money ones, no chance. I still think we can go out there and get a Hjulmand. I still think that can be done. But as far as, and as Jeff says here, English tax makes him 70 million, at least, Jeff, as well. At least. Imagine the CEO of Brighton's face when he heard 50 million. Yeah, honestly. This Wharton deal will never happen. I keep saying he's going to be way too expensive, and he's a key player. Mike, louder for the people in the back. Not only is he an English player, he is one of their most important players. They're just about to lose Eze. They're just about to lose Gay. Do you really think that Manchester United can slide in there like a dodgy bloke at the end of a bar, talking to a nice young blonde? Hello, United here. What we're saying about Wharton, it just won't happen. And honestly, when I read these things, when I see these views, I think, why? Because what you're doing is you're giving United fans false hope. And I was one of them with Belabor. But luckily for me, as I always do, I'm not an in the know. I react off the news from people like Indy Kyler. And I see the Ornstein. When I saw Ornstein tweet it, I thought something's happening here. But don't get your fingers burnt more than once, Manchester United fans, is what I'm saying. If Manchester United sign Adam Wharton, it will be as surprising. I tell you what, there's more chance of Mrs. Robinson allowing me to go on a stag do with the boys to Amsterdam and not checking my bank statements for what I've spent my money on. There's more chance of that. And trust me, that ain't happening. No wonder. Oh, well, no wonder you ain't on 12th man if that's how you chat up Wolfie to get on it. What else have we got? Indy Kyler had a good run for a couple of weeks. Now it's over. I agree with that. And yeah, I hope I'm right too, Kev. I really do. Chris says, get a keeper first before looking at midfield. Yeah, you've said that. I agree with that, Chris. I completely agree. Let's see where let's see where the vote's going at with this. So at the moment, 69% of you are saying that we can't afford. Only 16 votes. There's a few of you in here. Hit that vote button, people. I want to see what you think. Can United actually afford Wharton? You know my answer on it. I want to see your answer on it. Pop that vote in there for me. What else have we got here? Just quickly as well. I wanted to just bring this into it. Fucking hell, honestly. Look at the state of this. And Leeds win as well. A weekend where Leeds win over United. Ugh. Horrible. We have a better chance at selling the bomb squad than signing Wharton. Facts. Manchester United, as I say, just a quick recap here. Manchester United now need to focus solely on Sunday. Manchester United need to focus solely on getting Sesko ready to start in that front three. I think Benjamin Sesko will look better leading the line for Manchester United. I equally think with the showing we saw from Cunha and from Mbeumo, I think Manchester United are more catered to score goals in that game. But, and here comes the big but, Manchester United cannot afford to start Ugarte in that game. Manchester United cannot afford to start Binder in that game, and it kills me to say this, but they're going to have to go with Onana up in midfield. In midfield, fuck you say I'm going here. They're going to have to start with him in goal. So angry tonight. If there's 0 points from the first 3 games, does Amorim have to go to 4-3-3 to save his job? Bloody hell, niche fan, you're coming out with these variations tonight, aren't you? Amorim, look, I'll speak this into the mic, and I want you to listen to what I say with this. Amorim is not going to change this formation, like it or not. Like it or not. I said a couple of weeks ago that what Amorim has to do to get the chance to have the shock value with the teams that we play in the Premier League is one thing. He has to have the ability to change it up. Yeah, start with a 3-4-2-1, but change it up during the game. That's what we have to do. And I'm not saying change it up with going 5-3-2. No. Change it up. Because at the moment, we are too easy to read. I will say that there was passages in play against Arsenal where we did outplay them. I saw a Manchester United side so much more confident in playing the ball out from the back. Last season, we saw the ball either getting played sideways and then hoops long, or we'd lose the ball in the second phase. The midfield would pick it up, and then we'd be under attack. Binder wasn't under much pressure. Binder wasn't absolutely hammered, was he? Oh, God, Moxie. Imagine if we did go in for Louise. It would be incredible, wouldn't it? Manchester United look so much better than they did last season. But you know something? We're only going to be able to prove that in the table if we do it consistently. Manchester United need to follow that up from Sunday against Fulham. It's simple. If we don't, then what the fuck were we doing this for? And I will swear about that one because I'm still absolutely enraged. Right then, let's finish this up with the chat here. I just want to have a look at what we've got here. We're only on 37 likes, guys. On your way out, hit that like button. Let's try and get 50 likes. That would absolutely be amazing. I see a lot of you have come over from Football's 12th Man. Hit that like button for me now on your way out, please. Let's try and get this up to 50. It takes 2 seconds to hit that like button, and it makes an absolute means the absolute world to me. ChatGPT says United should go for defensive midfielder Lucien Aguirre. Never heard of him. Don't even go with ChatGPT. If Manchester United are starting to, if as fans we're looking at ChatGPT, Chris, then we deserve to get bantered. Let's not do that. Let's focus on the big boys in the journalistic world that come through. Please don't do that, because what you'll do is you'll see players linked with Manchester United and you'll go, oh, we're interested with them. Don't go. ChatGPT are brilliant at writing a resume, at helping you write a tweet, but not with players. And as Wahaha says, like and sub if you're enjoying the show helps your boy Danny out a lot. It does. Make sure you're hitting that. Well, let's just fuck around and bring back Ander and buy Verratti from Qatar. Come on, Nate. Last season, we went 1-0 down. We would have lost. We'd have been hammered last season. If that was last season against Arsenal, after the first goal, we'd have been bamboozled. Niche fan, here's the thing about ordering the kit. I've dropped so many hints to Mrs. Robinson. If she hasn't done it in the next couple of weeks, then I'm going to have to buy it myself. And I don't like putting money in the pockets of the Glazers, but needs must. That kit is stunning, by the way. And as always, great chat, folks. Like and subscribe before leaving. With a Belfast hangover, I'm out. Good to see you tonight, Moxie. Really, really good to see you. Kai says maybe we should just sell Garnacho for 35 and then get Le Mans and Aguirre. Garnacho cannot leave this club for less than 50 million. Garnacho cannot leave this club for less than 50 million. United have to stand firm on that. And I think Manchester United have to stand firm on that, not just for their own bank balance, but for their pride with Garnacho. If Garnacho leaves for 30 million, then that jumped up little toe rag has won. Because you better believe that he can't wait to leave United so he can start absolutely battering us in the press. Let me tell you something about this guy, and I'll say this one more time because I don't want to talk about him too much more. Garnacho, Alejandro Garnacho. We as a footballing community, we see you. We know what you are. You're a guy who thinks he's Ronaldo. You play more like Bebe. Yeah? Get out of this club and never be spoken about again. Dan asked Potts for the link for your kit. I'll have a look. I'll speak to Potts about that. And do I look slim on the camera? Yeah. Kev will tell you. Kev was sat having a cup of tea with me today. I think I put a bit on. The sunburn is increased. It's actually calmed down a little bit today. It was horrific this morning. My knees were so burnt. Absolutely horrific. I was in agony this morning. Absolute agony. And I thought I had sunstroke as well. But guys, look, do you know what? We've been on here quite a long time tonight. You have all been incredible on the chat tonight. And thank you very much for everybody coming over from Football's 12th Man. I do appreciate it, as much as I'm still very angry at Football's 12th Man. And I will end it on this. My time will come on Race for Europe again. You can believe that. All I need is Manchester United to get me back in those European places. And then this isn't a threat. This is a promise. I will come back on that show and I will tell LB. I will tell Wolfie. I will tell Billy. I will tell Potts. Errol was decent tonight, actually. I will tell them all exactly what is going on at my club. I don't need to hear rival fans try and tell me as a fan of the show, yeah, they've got this wrong, they've got that wrong. Get me back on that show, and I'm telling you now, there will be fireworks because I ain't having it. Manchester United will be back in European places by Christmas. Believe that. Dan United, Brian Brigade, Benjamin Brigade, not so much the Belabor Brigade. I'm out of here, people. Love and respect. Like and subscribe on the way out. You've all been absolute effing legends. Love and adore each and every one of you. I will see you at 9 p.m. tomorrow, hopefully with some good news. Dan United. Oota!